If you own a car, you need car insurance. But what is insurance? How does it work? And how do you pick the best coverage? And how do you get the best coverage at the best price? Well, in this video, we're going to go through the 5 most important things that every driver should understand about car insurance. The first thing you need to know is what car insurance actually is. On the most basic level, car insurance is an agreement between an individual driver and a company that agrees upon taking the financial risk of driving. You see, owning and driving a car means risking expensive car accidents, auto theft, and other types of financial loss. Car insurance allows you to pay a monthly premium to an insurance company in return for that company agreeing to cover those losses, up to the limits set in your policy. So, if you get into an accident and damage someone else's car, your insurance company will pay for those repairs instead of the driver suing you for the cost. If your car is stolen, your insurance company will pay for most of the costs of replacing it, so you don't have to pay the full amount out of pocket. If you don't have insurance in either of those situations, you're looking at tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars out of pocket costs, not to mention serious legal penalties. That's the second thing you need to know. Car insurance isn't just a good thing to have. It's required by law in just about every state. The third thing you need to know about car insurance is there isn't just one kind. Car insurance can be broken down into 3 main categories: liability coverage, medical coverage, and physical damage coverage. Liability coverage is a type of car insurance that pays for the other person's expenses when you cause injuries or damage to someone else's property. Bodily injury liability coverage deals with the medical bills, and property damage liability deals with vehicle repairs or other property damage costs. In most states, liability insurance is the bare minimum requirement. For instance, in order to legally own a car in Ohio, you must purchase $25,000 of bodily injury liability coverage per person, $50,000 of bodily injury per accident, and $25,000 of property damage liability. Those limits are sometimes written as 25, 50, 25. And that means that in any accident, your insurance company agrees to pay up to $25,000 to cover a single person's injuries, $50,000 combined to cover all injuries, and $25,000 for any property damage you cause. Without insurance, you'd be legally responsible for all the costs on your own, and a driver could sue you for them. But liability insurance sends the other driver to your insurance company instead and protects your assets, your income, and your livelihood. But liability won't cover any of your own expenses if you're injured or your car is damaged. So that's where medical coverage and physical damage coverage comes in. Uninsured motorist coverage and underinsured motorist coverage can cover your medical costs in any accident where you're not at fault, but the at-fault driver doesn't have insurance or doesn't have enough to cover all your medical bills. Let's take Texas, for example. The minimum bodily injury coverage required per person in Texas is $30,000. But if you're hit by another driver and your medical bills go up to $45,000, if the other driver only has state minimum insurance, that's $15,000 more that you're left to pay out of pocket. Underinsured motorist coverage means your insurance company agrees to make up the difference that the other driver's insurer didn't cover. And if you're in a hit and run or hit by a driver with no insurance, uninsured motorist coverage pays for that too. Another way to cover your medical costs is through medical payments coverage, or MedPay, or something called personal injury protection. Both of these pay for medical bills that you, your family members, or passengers have after an accident, regardless who's at fault. MedPay really only covers medical costs, along with funeral expenses, but personal injury protection also covers lost wages and replacement services like home cleaning. So, if you have a choice between them, I would go with personal injury protection. Finally, let's talk about coverage for your car. It comes in 2 basic forms: comprehensive and collision coverage. Comprehensive deals with things that damage your car other than a collision, like severe weather, fire, theft, vandalism, or even hitting an animal. Collision, on the other hand, covers damage from accidents, whether you're at fault or not. Comprehensive and collision can pay for your car to be repaired or replaced. But if you need to make a claim on either of these type of insurance, you'll have to pay a deductible. It's a set amount out of pocket that you're responsible for before your insurance coverage kicks in. Those are the basic types of coverage you need, but you can put them together in different ways. Your state will have a certain minimum coverage that's included as a default in any insurance policy. So for instance, in Florida, the default coverage is $10,000 of property damage liability and $10,000 of personal injury protection. In other states, your default coverage might include bodily injury liability, underinsured and uninsured motorist coverage, or MedPay. But collision and comprehensive aren't required by law. But most lenders require you to have them if you have a car loan or a lease. The fourth thing drivers need to know about car insurance is that it usually is smart to get more than just the default minimum coverage. You have to remember, insurance exists to protect your finances and your assets. And cars are getting more and more expensive, and car accidents are getting more serious. So it's worth to get at least 100, 300, 100 liability limits along with comprehensive and collision for what's called full coverage policy. The last thing that you need to know is how to actually get car insurance. The old-fashioned way is to call up a bunch of insurance companies and ask for quotes, or even walk into a local insurance office to talk to an agent. But that can be time-consuming, and it also means you'll be dealing with an agent who's working to get the insurance company as much money as possible from you as they can. A better way to shop for insurance is to go through an independent broker like Jerry. Jerry partners with dozens of insurance companies to show you real quotes. But because we don't work with a specific company, we can give you a realistic picture of which company is the best fit for you. You won't pay any extra to get quotes through Jerry. Instead, the insurance company you sign up with pays Jerry a broker's fee for helping them get business. Now, you know the 5 most important things that every driver should know about car insurance. If you've got questions or if there are other topics you'd like to see us make videos about, drop them in the comments below. And download the Jerry app to find the best insurance that fits you.
Jerry, the all-car app that's got your back. Because we car.